first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler coming back to you live here as we are following along on our coverage of Hurricane Milton hitting Florida. That is a live shot right there of Bradenton, Florida, as the hurricane is starting to make its way on. The eye is still off of the coast. I don't believe the eye has hit quite yet, but we are joined once again by Kyle Cutten from Tornado Tacklers. Kyle, thank you for being here. For everybody who didn't see the previous segment, you had just driven across the state to the east side, basically, to get gas and to fuel up because of that lack of fuel everywhere. And now, that was a couple of hours ago, so can you update us on where you're at now and what you're heading into?
Well, so let's start with on the east side of the state where I left, there's a couple large, dangerous, what they're called PDS. Boy, these moisture bands are really wrapping around. You can really see the hurricane now. Here, I'll show you if you'd like. But
Yeah.
we had a particularly dangerous situation back where I was getting gas. After I left there, 1 second here, sorry.
No worries, just drive safe, be careful.
Yeah, no problem. That's the band right there. You're looking at a hurricane band. That's a full, what you're looking at on radar coming. So that's what's ripping over Bradenton and Sarasota now.
Wow, so that's what we're seeing right there. So that is the band, one of the bands from the hurricane.
Correct.
Coming there on, and you're heading, let's see, I was that just a sign
I'm
to
heading to
Lakeland right
Tampa.
there?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're facing towards Bradenton, Sarasota right there. So,
Okay.
and what I'm looking for, Greg, is I'm looking for tornadoes so I can spot them and call them into the NWS. At this point, I don't know if I'm going to get that on this side of the hurricane, but just to give you an idea of what we're doing for our job here, we're looking right in there and we're looking for anything dipping down. And we've had over 102 tornado warned storms today. Now I think we're up to 130, 25, 30. So it's a very dangerous day in Central Florida.
125 to 130 tornado warnings just so far, and this thing is still coming on there. And I think that's pretty unique. Thanks for letting us see that, because most people haven't, at least over here on the West Coast, you don't see the band of a hurricane. So seeing what's happening there now, with these tornadoes, we were talking earlier just about the danger of that. I know at one point you had 6, sometimes it was even more than that, tornado warnings going on all around you, potential tornadoes. What has it been like here over the last couple of hours now that it's heading in there? I will say it does look pretty barren out there on the freeways. Not a lot of people.
There's nobody out here on the road. Sorry, this thing's really getting ugly just by the moment here. I'll show you just in the moments we've changed. That's becoming a full stout wall cloud right there. So I'm definitely intently looking at anything lowering. This is, again, the inner band heading into Tampa. To answer your question on the last few hours, you can feel the intensity, the desperation. Again, think about this. I passed between 500 to 1,000 gas stations closed. I had to go all the way back to the other side. And now that side is getting ravaged by two big wedge tornadoes. It's going through a pretty heavily populated area with a lot of mobile homes. So we're probably going to hear some tough stories coming out of that side. And then I'm going right into the heart of this hurricane, where surge and wind, heavy winds, are going to just obliterate the whole west side of this side of the state.
Wow. I mean, and right now, as we're talking, depending on when people are watching, I think we're a couple of hours away from the eye coming on there, and I'm looking up at your footage too. So
sorry.
Again, that's fine. So you're driving into Tampa right now, heading there. Okay, yeah, and seeing that, and as you mentioned, there's not many people out there right now. And what kind of damage are you seeing so far? Have you seen anything or flooding, anything that's as a result of what we've had so far?
It's been light damage, awnings, and sorry about that. I get people messages. Awnings. It's mainly been flooding, but right here, this is starting to get into wow, big wind. Sorry, I just got pushed all over. I could be in a little bit of a microburst right now. When you start seeing a band like this pushed, I'm getting pushed all over the road. Greg, hold tight here.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a heavy band. Yeah, no problem. This is what you prepare for. These mobile homes right here are what I'm really concerned for. They were given a warning today. If you're in a mobile home, you have to evacuate. So stuff like that is going to be, the sensors on the car are picking up heavy winds. So this I'm gonna guess we're in 100, probably 80 to 100 mile an hour band right here. Just judging by, yeah, look at the way there's.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm just reading the weather in real with you right now.
Yeah, no, I'm quite frankly, I'm amazed that you still have even cell service over there right now.
Me too.
You know, because and again, this is that band coming on there, heading towards Tampa, and you know, for the people that are left there, the people that while you're going there, providing some warnings, you're pretty well supplied, with some good equipment right there, from what I understand from talking to you earlier. But for the rest of the people who are there who didn't evacuate, what are they doing right now, and what are some of these dangers that they're going to be facing?
First off, you're probably going to be without power for 7 to 10 days. If I'm just giving an honest guess, could be 14 to 28 days. Florida's pretty good about getting power as quick as possible. I'm sure that the linesmen are sitting right up in the states above me ready to go, but nonetheless, there's going to be a lot of communities that are going to need a lot of work. Food, everybody's going to lose their food in a matter of 72 hours. Past that, things start getting real desperate. If you get, you get folks that have impoverished. Law just becomes a reference point. That's the first thing to go is the law. And looting is very heavy. Every hurricane I've been in is heavy looting. Well, at least in the ones I've seen here in Florida. So Louisiana was much more on top of that, but Florida, they have more looting. I'm seeing debris in the road right now. I'm going to turn you around. So we're definitely in a hard band right here. But we got a big frond come across the front here right before I turned you around.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just going to continue to get worse and worse, as you see.
Yeah, as you can see it coming down there, and again, you're heading into Tampa. Anything that for people at home who aren't down there, aren't experiencing this, how does this compare to previous hurricanes that you've been in?
This is probably going to be top 3. It's going to be my guess. Judge, I don't, it might be a little bit premature on that because I still haven't got the landfall, but there you go. There's some damage right there. See how that sign's ripped up? We haven't even we're still hours away from landfall, and you're already seeing signs shredded on the highway. Here's another one that's shredded. I think this will be top 3, top 5 out of the 12 I've been in, is my anticipation of just seeing what I see on radar.
Yeah, and so, and again, with the eye still not on there, and still finding out, what kind of damage is going to be going on there as you're heading into Tampa. Another question, I'm trying to think just to explain this experience of what it's like being in the middle of this. Like if somebody is out there right now, what are some of the dangers that they're going to be facing?
So we're from the West Coast. You and I, we grew up in small town Oregon. This is like going through the Christopher Columbus Day storm over and over and over. I mean, it's a Cat 3 condition. It's going to knock over pretty good sized buildings that have roofs. It's going to tear roofs off. That's what you're going to find. And then they're exposed to a ton of moisture. Still looking over here at this rotating cloud. I'm concerned right here that something might come down. We've had 2 vicious tornadoes today. And I'll be honest with you, we typically get wispy tornadoes. And today we broke the mold on tornadoes. We've had 2 just bad, vicious wedges that went through. One went through a highly populated area, and then the other one was a little bit less in vegetation and farmland. So I'm keeping a very watchful eye on this lowering over here. This is heading right at Tampa too, by the way. This band is running almost perpendicular with me to the road, to the highway down to Tampa.
Wow, yeah, so that's what we're looking at right there is the band, just to confirm that again.
Yep, this is an inner band right here. When you're looking on the radar, you're looking at one of the inner bands. We don't typically get a lot of tornadoes, but as you see, the water's just sucking right off the road, that's coming up and going right back up. So it's intense winds. And
yeah, for people here in Oregon, what could you possibly compare it to, other than
the worst day at the coast times 4. When I went into my first hurricane, all I had to measure it against was a bad day at the Oregon coast. And to be fair, most people who have never been to the West Coast, particularly of Oregon, the Pacific Coast, is a very treacherous area. It earns its stripes when it comes to treachery in a storm. that's the only part of the Pacific Northwest that you could ever give comparison. When this comes screaming in today, I will be physically felt like I've been rolled down a hill, beat up. I mean, the 125-mile-an-hour winds, I'm still going to sustain for probably 2 to 3 hours, and then I'm going to run with it all the way back across to the state because my friend lives right in the path. So I really have my hands full on this one from top to bottom, both professionally and personally. So.
Well, be safe out there. And I guess they said like 4 times the worst day on the Oregon coast.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just to show you, look how dark this is getting. We're still should have sunlight here, although it doesn't look as dark on camera. But these bands are just going to continue. When I get set up for the Eyewall, I'll show you I'll send you footage of the inner Eyewall, and you'll see it's so intense. You can't even believe Mother Nature could do something like that.
And what is it like when that Eyewall passes over?
It's like your head's in a vice. You can't. The pressures are so incredibly tight on your head that you're in a headache for about 2 to 3 hours. Your body feels weird. Your blood vessels feel constricted. Your arteries feel heavy. Unfortunately, I have to worry about flying debris, and then bigger than that is like chemical factories. I got to start worrying about what poisons and toxins am I up against in the air. Typically, where I'm going, I have to walk through heavy surge. At some point, I'm going to have to walk through water, and it's like, I felt between the fish, the gas, all the toxins that are in. People's air conditioners are breaking apart, so you got all these propane tanks are breaking. It's not the greatest way to make a living, Greg, but it's what we do.
It's what you do, and there you are.
Yeah. So,
well, Kyle, thank you for being able to share some of this with us and just see some of this as you're going in there and heading into the middle of this. Obviously, a lot to come. You're a lot to find out about what's going to happen. The damage is happening right now. You mentioned all the tornadoes. These bands are coming in. Signs are already getting ripped down, even where you're at, and you're still heading into Tampa. So, yeah. Well, I just wanted to, sincerely, thank you very much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Anything else that
everybody back at the office, and we'll chat with you here when the Eyewall gets on top of us. I still got cell phone coverage.
Yeah, if you still have coverage, and Tornado Tacklers is where people can follow along with all that you're doing.
On Facebook and YouTube. Yep.
On
all
Facebook and YouTube.
Facebook, Insta, YouTube. We did them all. So
Lots of coverage on there.
We got flooding all over, by the way. So evacuation traffic is down to nothing. So everybody's either embedded or they already got out of town. I will know more tomorrow. So I'll be going through all the damage zones, and I'll bring you up to date on all of that.
Okay, yeah, I would love to touch base with you tomorrow, and stay safe tonight and going through all this. Okay. Obviously, we'll follow along on the Facebook page and what you're doing. But yeah, man, be careful. I know you know what you're doing,
problem.
But still.
One more look here.
One more look. Let's take a look right there.
This is one more look going into Tampa. So.
All right, there it is. Heading into Tampa right now. Thanks, Kyle. All right. Yep. We'll talk to you soon.
You too.
Okay, again there, so for everybody watching, that was Kyle Cutten from Tornado Tacklers on Facebook. He mentioned Oregon. He is originally from Monmouth, Independence, Oregon, down there in the Willamette Valley, but he has been going into storms for many, many years, so this is his 12th hurricane, and showing us some of that stuff. Earlier today, we were talking to him when all the tornado warnings were going on. Sounds like that could still be happening some as well. So we'll continue to bring you whatever coverage we can here from Fox 12 Oregon. Obviously, we'll have updates for you. I do have this also, a live look at Bradenton, Florida. So that's right there, right about where he was heading right now. So I'm not sure exactly how far away he was, but that's where he's heading. And that's what we're looking at as that's coming on. And the Eyewall still a couple of hours away, it sounds like, before that's going to hit. So we will keep you up to date with whatever we can. You can watch some of these other videos on the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel and take a look on there from our previous interviews of this. And obviously, we'll keep you up to date with as much as we can. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.